NXT TakeOver WarGames took place from Chicago, Illinois tonight. And this show featured 2 WarGames matches. And you started the show off with a very noteworthy pre-show. You have Mauro Ranallo, Nigel McGuinness, and Beth Phoenix on commentary. You have your pre-show panel was Pat McAfee, Sam Roberts, and Charlie Caruso. So there's a lot that happened. First, you had Angel Garza against Isaiah Swerve Scott. This was just a match. It was there. It was okay. I didn't really care much for it. We knew Angel Garza would win. He did the whole rip the pants off thing and did the super kick. He's all right. This was just an NXT TV match. Here's the big angle that happened on the show, on the pre-show. So we get word from the back that Mia Yim had been attacked. It was strange. Like, Mia Yim's attacked. And we see that she's been beat up bad. She can't move. She has to be loaded up into an ambulance and taken out on a stretcher. And then all of a sudden, we see the babyface teams. You see Rhea Ripley. You see Tegan Nox. You see Candice LeRae. And with them is Dakota Kai. Rhea demands Dakota join the team. Dakota declines at first, but then she demands she gets in. And Dakota eventually agrees. And I think it's fairly obvious, judging what happened later in the show, that it was Dakota Kai who attacked Mia Yim. The show begins, and you have some entrances for the women. We start off with that, the women's WarGames. You have each team locked up in a mini cage at ringside, and that's how they did it for both times. I don't think you need to. I think you just have them make their entrances. I'm never been a huge fan of that, but that's how they do it in WWE. And they made a smart move. They had Io Shirai and Candice LeRae start things off, which is perfect. And, of course, the heels have the advantage. The match they have quickly, like a 5-minute quick match with Io and Candice, is really good. Those two are so talented, and they have amazing chemistry together. You had some brutal stomps by Io Shirai to Candice LeRae into the cage, which looked good, and they fought on the metal great. And, again, vicious running knees hitting Candice into the cage. Bianca Belair comes in, and Candice LeRae takes a beating here. The best part is Bianca Belair is strong as hell. She picks up Candice LeRae, she powerbombs her, and then she holds her onto her, and she picks her up again, powerbombs her again. She picks her up a third time. Instead of powerbombing her into the ground, she powerbombs Candice right into the cage, and it looked brutal. Candice LeRae is just crazy, the amount of beating she takes. Now, the match starts to turn around. However, Rhea Ripley enters, and she brings in a whole bunch of weapons. She brings in trash cans, chairs, and kendo sticks, basically, and trash can lids, too. And the fans want table. She does not bring in a table. She beats down Bianca, and she beats down Io. But she beats up Bianca with the trash can, and she slams her into the trash can. Look painful as hell for Belair. Ripley gets the advantage, and Kaylee Ray comes in, and she's definitely the biggest heel in this match. She teases the fans with a table. She brings in more weapons, but the fans keep chanting table. She grabs the table, but she won't bring it in, and the fans get really mad. She was good here. A good troll heel. She gets in the ring, and the big spot they build up to is the Tower of Doom spot. So the chairs were set up like how you'd sit on it, but near together, so it could be a slam into the chairs. But Kaylee Ray takes them all down, so he gets more heat, and they set up this big Tower of Doom spot. Candice LeRae has Bianca Belair in a superplex position, but Candice is attacked, and there's basically like a power bomb onto Candice. Two of the women have Candice with a power to take her down in a back suplex, but then there's a power bomb, and it becomes like this giant Tower of Doom spot onto the chairs. And then Bianca Belair hits an amazing 450 splash onto Candice LeRae, which looked great. Bianca Belair is a fantastic athlete. Here's the big heel turn of the match. Dakota Kai comes out next, but she turns around, she looks at Tegan Nox, and she murders poor Tegan Nox. She beats her down. Rhea Ripley shocked. She yells at Rhea Ripley. Dakota and Rhea yelling at each other. It's pretty obvious. They don't mention this, but I think it's pretty obvious. Dakota attacked Mia, and now she is killing Tegan Nox. She traps Tegan Nox's leg into the pod, and she takes it the door, and she smashes it 5, 6, 7 times over and over and over again. She's gonna destroy this girl's knee until it's nothing. She's gonna make sure she never walks again. It's over and over again, and it's just sick. She is going crazy. She comes back and does it again. The fans are going nuts. Dakota Kai is just a vicious heel. It was just brutal to look at and brutal to watch. And they show Baszler with a 6 smile on her face. This is just an amazing heel turn for Dakota Kai, and she eventually has to leave. Finally, Shayna Baszler enters, and it basically becomes 4-on-2. More weapons are used. Rhea and Candice use the weapons to fight back. Here's how the big spot, the match finishes off. You have Candice and Io climb to the top, and then Kaylee Ray climbs to the top turnbuckle to get to them, but Candice goes down, and she does a reverse hurricanrana onto Kaylee Ray from the top rope, which was a holy shit moment. It topped the Bayley and Sasha Banks hurricanrana from that TakeOver show. It was similar to that, but this looked even crazier because it was from a higher angle. It was just brutal. And then Bianca, Belair, and Candice, they basically fight over Bianca's hair, and they're holding, like, Bianca's and Candice are fighting over Bianca's hair, and they're in a position where they're going to catch Io Shirai, and Io Shirai does the most amazing moonsault from the top of the cage, and she slams onto both of them. It was almost reminding me of Kurt Angle's incredible moonsault from the top of the cage. It was nuts. A holy shit moment. It was crazy. Yeah, I love Io Shirai. She's awesome. I love her theme music. I love her character. I love the entrance she did with Poppy. Io's amazing. And now, those three are out. Now, surprisingly, Kaylee Ray still not dead. She takes a brutal trash can hit from Rhea Ripley. Comes down to Rhea and Shayna. Shayna gets Rhea Ripley in her finisher. She's about to submit her. Looks like Rhea's about to be done. Looks like that's it. However, Rhea Ripley had handcuffs onto her. She had handcuffs. One of them put handcuffs onto her. She traps her hands with one. She traps the other hand with Baszler's hand, and she gets her up with the handcuffs. And Baszler is trapped, and Candice is able to hit her finisher onto Shayna Baszler with the handcuffs, and she smashes her through 2 chairs. Rhea Ripley pins Shayna Baszler 1, 2, 3. An amazing match. Great. Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae win by themselves. I fucking love this. This was amazing. This is a must-see match. I thought this was a fantastic story. I wanted to watch that again after it ended. Up next, we go to the Triple Threat number 1 contenders match. Winner faces Adam Cole tomorrow night at Survivor Series for the NXT title. Pete Dunne against Damian Priest versus Killian Dain. So they started off really good. They had to follow the women's match, which was too hard. And I think the fans started to lose interest, and I did a bit. It was a very good match. It was just too long of a match. This was not a 20-minute match. It didn't have to be 20 minutes. It really could have just been 14 minutes, like the match that would follow it. I thought Balor and Riddle needed more time, and this needed to cut off time. I thought that they had that in reverse. This was a good matchup here. You had some really good spots. They fought on the outside a lot. There were some dives. There was a really sick dive by Damian Priest early on that looked great. Oh, he did it over the top, like the turnbuckle looked crazy. He almost died. I mean, it's dangerous, some of the stuff they do on the show. A lot of ground wrestling on the outside. Killian Dain did the cannonball through the barricade. They do that too much now. That spot's overplayed. They smashed earlier. There's a razor's edge by a Priest onto Dunne onto the announce table. Didn't break. It would have been awesome if it broke, but it was a sick-looking razor's edge. Lots of kickouts, lots of breakups. There's just, it looks like it's over. The other guy would get out, break the fall out. That happened a bit too much. It was still a really good matchup. The crowd faded near the end, but it still held on to be a good match. We knew Pete Dunne was going to win. I think that was obvious. He did the finger break a lot in the match. There was a really cool spot when he slammed, I think it was Dain from the top rope. Eventually it ends where Damian Priest is on the ground. Killian Dain hits his finisher while he has Pete Dunne on his back, but he falls off, and Pete Dunne is able to pin Priest, and he gets the win. It was kind of a lame ending. There was not a huge fan of the finish, but Pete Dunne gets the win, and he faces Adam Cole tomorrow night, and I think it's obvious he's going to lose. Up next, Finn Balor against Matt Riddle. This was a disappointing match. I thought this was going to be great. I really wanted to see this. This is a WarGames show, but I was really looking forward to seeing this match too. I mean, I was looking forward to it. I thought they were going to have a fantastic match. They had a good match. It was not great. They started off too slow, and the fans seemed to be unhappy. They really didn't like Riddle for some reason, but they started off too slow. They needed to get into it more. There were some cool kicks by Riddle when he does the kicks into Finn Balor's abs. When he you get punched in the abs. I mean, those kicks to the abs, that doesn't feel good. Finn gets the heat early. He beats down Matt. And I think the fans didn't like Matt, so it probably would have been better for Finn to be the face, to be honest. But he gets the heat early. The crowd's not into it at first. However, the thing starts to turn around. They have some good finishers, some good suplexes. It starts to get fun. Now, here's what happens. Matt Riddle, out of nowhere, hits a spear to troll Goldberg, and the fans react to it. And he hits a jackhammer, a bro hammer, and it looks like it's over. Balor kicks out. And he goes for the fall-away bro dive. I think it's just called the fall-away bro from the top rope. Balor gets his feet up, and he hits him with the big drop kick to the turnbuckles. That's where he really turns heel. It feels like Riddle does. Balor's about to win, but then Riddle hits a bro to sleep onto Balor. Fans did not like that. Got some heat. He's pure heel here. Looks like he's going to win, but Balor gets this 1960 DDT, which is a big elevated DDT, which looked really cool, but that was it. 1, 2, 3, it's over. There was no double stomp from the top rope. The big DDT, and it's over. Balor pins Riddle. It was kind of anticlimactic. I was a bit disappointed about this match. I was expecting an all-time classic great match with these two. I didn't get it. And Riddle's had those matches. This wasn't it, though. I don't know. Maybe this is not the kind of show because it's WarGames that overshadows everything. But, yeah, it was a good match. It was not great. I really wanted to see a great matchup here. I didn't get that. Main event time. Men's WarGames. Before that, they previewed some of the stuff on the tomorrow night, which it's official. Pete Dunne is facing Pete Dunne, Adam Cole. That's a great match to have. We'll see what they do with NXT tomorrow night. I don't think they even announced the men's team, have they? But the women are set. It's Rhea, Ripley, Candice, LeRae, Bianca, Belair, Io Shirai, and Toni Storm. That's your women's. But anyway, main event. You have hell of a matchup here. So Ciampa's team is Tommaso Ciampa, Keith Lee, Dominik Dijakovic, and the returning Kevin Owens, and the opponents are the Undisputed Era, which is Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Roderick Strong. So you have Ciampa and Strong start. They had a good matchup. They had this part with the crutch. He throws it out of the cage early. It was okay. Good wrestling to start. A little bit slow. Kyle O'Reilly enters. It becomes a handicap match. They beat down Ciampa, really Strong, and O'Reilly getting the upper hand. Dijakovic enters, and he's a new guy in this environment. I don't think he's been in a big takeover match before. He does well. He throws O'Reilly and Strong into the cage. He does a sequence where he throws Strong into the cage, and he slams O'Reilly into the cage, which is good. This guy's powerful. He's strong. He's overshadowed by Keith Lee for his power, but Dijakovic is a strong guy too. Bobby Fish enters, and again, it turns into a handicap match. Now it becomes 3-on-2. Fish, O'Reilly, and Strong getting the upper hand. They beat down the other two really bad. Kick Dijakovic's ass and Ciampa. Ciampa's getting beat up. Now Keith Lee enters, and man, the fans loved Keith Lee. They kept singing to him. He was awesome here. He does a lot of high-flying moves. It's great. Keith Lee shines here. And he's really over here. And then you have Adam Cole enters, and he enters by throwing about 5 tables into the ring, and he throws one on the outside. He sets it up. As soon as he's about to enter the ring, Ciampa throws him from the apron through the table on the outside, and that was awesome. There was some spots here, some high-flying moves again, and they set up the tables eventually. And now the big surprise was Kevin Owens. He makes his big return to NXT. I don't know if he's permanently there like Balor, if it's just a one-night thing. They set up on Raw, but Owens is here. He's on Team Ciampa. Amazing return. He got a huge pop. And there was just spot after spot ensued after that. An amazing Olympic slam from the top rope from Roderick Strong to Keith Lee. There was a sick Panama Sunrise by Adam Cole onto Kevin Owens onto the grate. It looked safe, but it still looked really sick watching it. He could have been paralyzed. And then the ending, you have a big about 4 table smashes sequence to end the match. They set up the tables, they waited all match to get to it, and finally, bam, 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 table spots. First, Dijakovic chokeslams Roderick Strong through a table, which was great. And then Kyle O'Reilly gets Dijakovic in a triangle, and they're set up on another table. But Kevin Owens does a frog splash onto O'Reilly through the table while he had the triangle on that takes out 3 of them. And then Keith Lee does a super power bomb onto Bobby Fish through a table, and the crazy holy shit spot of the year. Ciampa and Adam Cole are on the top of the cage. Ciampa gets him up in a position like a reverse Death Valley driver. He falls off the top of the cage going backward, through Adam Cole, through 2 tables, which was fucking crazy. They show Britt Baker in the crowd reacting after a match, which was great. I'll even mention Britt Baker, and this was the exact same spot Tommaso Ciampa did to Johnny Gargano 2 years ago from TakeOver in Chicago. In the same venue, he does the same things to Adam Cole from the top through 2 tables, 1, 2, 3, Team Ciampa wins.